two main courses for reported by doctors for why people fall out of the work is because they have musculoskeletal pains. But we also found that the psychological disorders or problems. So these people don't get treated by the doctors usually because you don't find a medical reason, but they still have the issues and the problems. So that's why they need these kind of offers that can build them up again in a way. It was pushed from the agricultural side. We have a lot of small scale farms in Norway. Yeah. We have like there's not very far from the cities out to the farms, many places, and there's an opportunity there. A lot of interested farmers, I think. So, and also they saw maybe a need to have additional economical value.
I said that it wasn't a kind of national system for green care, but we have one kind of system, and that is Matmerk. So because they have this kind of system of approval, and they have this sign that you can be allowed to use if you keep up with certain standards.
But the new thing with this input tuna is that they try to standardize and brand it.
This is a checklist. You go through it with on your farms and see different aspects of the farms, especially on health and security and physical security on the farm. If you don't use it, you can say that I'm selling welfare services on my farm, but you can't call it in på tunet. And then a kind of auditor man come from Matmark and tells if it's all right or not. Yeah, that is green care farms. So that is crucial when we call it in på tunet. It have to be on a farm. Yes. So and that is a part of this quality standard. So we will check if you don't have the offer on a farm. We will say you are not allowed to call it in på tunet. So, but the farm can be quite small, and it isn't necessary that you are doing a lot of other farm work.
It comes down to knowledge and how well is it known in the municipalities, you know, what the farms can offer and such and such. So I think it's very individual, you know. I think some people will say these are great offers. I know maybe the farms myself. I can send clients there. But some will say I don't really know about care farms in my municipality, so I wouldn't know. One of the reasons why in på tunet wants to have this kind of register and have it more like a standardized, because it depends very much on who you meet in what kind of system and if they are familiar with this kind of offers.
But we have seen some examples that some are starting up in regular flats or factory stores, starting with and call it green care because you maybe have some small plants inside, or a rabbit or a cat. So we try to make a kind of definition about in på tunet, which are so the activity shall be connected to the farm activity in a way. Nowadays the researching activities going more about to find the examples and see what differs green care therapy from other kind of therapy, to find what is special thing about green care that is better than other kind of therapy.
But what I did, I used actually a theory to try to find out if there was a health promoting elements within the farm context. What I found was social support from the farmer in the middle here actually supports competence, relatedness and autonomy for the clients. And that I think is part of being very understanding and giving very much support. And also the support that we measured was this kind of non-directional support, which is very open support, you know, what do you want to do, you know, you support the person in their kind of. It's actually a motivation theory, which states that in order to be have psychological well-being and to function, we have to be autonomously motivated in what we do in our lives. So probably you wouldn't enjoy it if you had to go here and do this trip, but if you are motivated and you find this interesting personally, it gives you a lot of well-being, and it's easier for you to actually do that work. And if you are controlled, motivated in a controlled way, it will be devastating for psychological well-being and also motivation well-being. So they say that it's not really the level of motivation that people have, but it's the different kind of motivations that we have and what is behind our motivation. Is it because our parents expect us to do it, or is it because this is important for who I am? In order to experience autonomous motivation, every person has to satisfy 3 needs, basic needs, and those are relatedness, to feel connected to others and that you can care for others, and it's competence, that you feel that you manage your world, and then there's autonomy, which is very important. It's about volition. You feel that you do things from your own. To see if does the farm context actually support these needs for the clients. But then I also found that being treated like a colleague, like having real work experiences and doing meaningful tasks in a way, it supported competence.
I think the crucial thing is that there's a very good dialogue between the buyer and the farmer. So it's not like that the buyer can't just take the clients to the farm and then forget the whole thing. He has to be there and have a discussion all the time with the farmer. That my psychologist can be with your farmer as a team, and or the farmer and the psychologist can discuss. So after the day.
I think one of the ideas behind this kind of offers is that the farmer should be just an ordinary farmer, and that not necessarily have competence in these kind of healthcare issues. And many times they do have competence also in relation to healthcare, or maybe their wife or their husband of the farmer will have that kind of competence. But I think a lot of them are dedicated and they believe in the farm as kind of a health, a good place for people to build up their health and strength again. I think many of the farmers that actually do these kind of offers are very interested in the clients. We have also done a questionnaire on farmers. So I think that they can give great quality offers, some of them at least, I think. It's amazing, how much they can actually do for these people. And some of them, they live in kind of small places as well. He says he meets these people, in the stores every day. He can meet them everywhere, They become friends almost. Yeah. So they support them, through all those layers. Yeah. And they go with them to meetings with NAV, to the doctors. They will follow them there. If they don't get up in the morning, they will drive to their house, get them to come to the farm. So I think it's extremely, dedicated farmers. Yeah.
And we also have given some money to people who want to go together and form a kind of cooperative or company. We have one in the middle part of Norway, Trøndelag. So it's called Inn på tunet Trøndelag. They are about 20 or 30, so they have one woman who are the daily leader. The farmers are quite happy with that, because then they have one person that is really good to negotiate and do trading, so then they can just call on her to do that job, and they can just concentrate on being the best green care farms. So when we now come and have a private farmer that is giving offer the service that is unfamiliar to many. So, and maybe because then some bad rumors from the past, then many will say it was good that is left behind. Now we have a public system, and they don't want to go back to the private system, and then we have to explain that this is not the same as you had 70 years ago. It's a new thing, and the control and the quality standards are much better. Well operating Greek, Okay, I think the family or the farmer has to be dedicated to the job. He or she must like to work with people. Some farmers are great farmers, but they like to do things on their own. It's not suitable for every farmer, but you have to, before you start, you have to take that in account, that am I a person that is glad to go on with people or not? I think you have to be business-minded. You have to see that it's some costs, and then you have to make a kind of budget, so which you see what will be the income. So because it's no use to do this for free, you have to, if it's your work, you have to have a wage that is possible to live from. And you have to deal with insecurity, because we also very often see that it's short-term agreements. You have to do some investments on your farms. You have to think about the security for the people who are coming to stay there, and be aware that they are not used to the farm in the same way that you are, that have been living there for your whole life. You have to be good to explain for the people there what to do, to give clear messages and see this is what you should do today, and be good in communicate with the people. That welfare system is both governmental and local authority, so the NAV is run by both. So it differs whether there are local authority fundings or governmental fundings that are used to buy green care activities. Local authorities that are the main buyers of the services. It's a school and work training and social care and such. And now the government has said that every local authority shall have a kind of day offer to the day activity for people with dementia. So we hope that this is going to grow as a market.
It's a mix between all. Maybe some farms just have. I was at this farm. They had young girls, that didn't really get a job after school because they found it very hard in a way, and maybe they got into the wrong kind of crowd at school, trying some drugs. But they were great girls, They had a lot of resources, and she was like the farmer. She was just seeing that all the way, and she specialized in young girls. But some farms have all different people. Some have maybe people with addiction problems. So it's a lot of difference there as well. I think it's also about this is not for everyone, This is for some people that actually want these kind of offers, and that's very important because NAV and also municipalities, they have to make tailored intervention for people. So not everybody fits in here or there, and this is one kind of this is just one offer that will suit some people very good. You can work with animals, be outside in nature. I think that will suit some people very good. So, but not everyone. But they're not supposed to fit everyone. Yeah. But I can just, with the article, I also found that being with other clients was extremely important for the people there, because they kind of identify with the, it's not just me sitting at home being sad all the time. Other people have the same issues. I'm not really that weird, and we can support each other in that. But also I talk to people that some people have very strong issues, social anxiety when they start coming to the farm, so they need to be alone. So it's also the farm offers space, if you want to work alone today, you can do that. We can work over there with the sheets, and then we will have a group over here, and there, you kind of have that space to be alone. They talked about the experience, and there's so many different tasks that you can do, and in different kind of difficult levels, you can adjust that in a very easy way as well. They talked about the experience of being in nature, that it was calming, it wasn't stressful, they would get stressful in the city, or with a lot of people, or working in a shop, it would be very difficult for them. And also taking care of animals, came out as a very important part. Some people said, I woke up, one morning and thought, I don't want to go to work, I feel really bad, but the horses are there waiting for me. They need food, they need the water, so I will go. So she said, they are depending on me, so I will take care of them, and that's very important for me, to take care of someone that is actually alive and needs me,